Hello there, what's going on everyone? Today we're going to be talking about the Venator Star Destroyer for the Republic for Star Wars Armada because we actually got some additional previews and I realized I hadn't really made a video to talk about the Venator 2 class Star Destroyer's ship card that also got spoiled last week, so I'm going to combine that with the new titles that we got today and just talk all about some of the new goodies that we got for the Venator 2. As well as the titles and all of that good stuff. If you guys are new here, there's still time left to enter to win the $25 Amazon gift card giveaway. You just have to be a subscriber and leave a comment on this or one of my videos. I'm going to be announcing the winner for that one this week. So not a whole lot of time left, but if you don't win this one, don't worry, because another one's going to be starting right after that. So they're always running. Also, check the links down in the description below. If you guys like the video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up, share the video, like the video, leave a comment, all that good stuff. Click that little bell for alerts, but also check those links down in the description. A lot of you guys haven't joined my Discord yet, and I would love to have you in there so we can actually talk about these cool cards. You know, it's a great way to get involved in the community. We're also very family friendly, so check it out. All right, so Venator 2 class Star Destroyer. This thing is, this was like the one ship card we didn't have yet. 100 points. It's not cheap, but it's pretty reasonable. You know, it's cheaper than an Imperial Star Destroyer. And we're getting some differences because we had already seen the Venator 1. So I'm going to do some comparisons to the Venator 1. But first off, we've got a black and blue for anti-squadron. Still got that 9 hull. The big difference, we still got 3 command and 4 engineering. We got 5 squadrons. This is huge. A 100-point ship. Right, a large ship with 5 squadron value is amazing. This one is going to be pushing lots and lots of squadrons. I mean, that's obviously the role that I think that you give the Venator 2. I think that just clearly is. We've got a double rainbow in the front arc. We got two dice of each color. We've got 2 red and 2 blue on the sides, and then 1 of each single rainbow in the back. So it's going to have good for salvo. It's going to, you know, again, it's got salvo, it's got contain, it's got redirect, and it's got block. It's one of the things in the Clone Wars you're noticing there's a lot less doubling up of individual defense tokens, and I think that that's actually pretty cool. It makes me think that like Mon Carin as a title will be good again. You know, I think it's going to be a pretty good title. I haven't run that in a long time, But yeah, and as far as upgrades, we've still got Officer Weapons Team. One of the big new things we get here on this version, as opposed to the Venator 1, is the Offensive Retrofit, which again is appropriate for any type of carrier. Offensive Retrofit's a good one. Weapons Team and Offensive Retrofit together work really well for carrier. We still have Defensive Retrofit, so this is just going to be a powerhouse, especially with 9 shields and 9 hull, 4 shields in the front, 3 on the sides, 2 in the back. Pretty well shielded, pretty good size hull. Defensive retrofit really helps. And the weird thing about this one is we got a lot of blue dice, but we have no ion cannon. We do have the ordnance and the turbo laser, which is interesting. Now, if we compare this to the Venator 1 preview that we got a while back, you know, you're going to notice a couple of things. First off, the anti-squadron armament, and this one's a little bit farther out, right? You got the 2 blue as opposed to the blue and the black. You know, some people have their different preferences. I think I'd rather have the blue and the black. Pretty much because of the fact that we don't have an ion cannon, so you know you're not going to be able to do things like leading shots or whatever. And so that's, you know, but then the Venator 1 hardly has any blue dice. It's got 1 on the back and 1 on the sides, but it's got a lot more black and red, which is a little bit more synergistic with the fact that it has ordnance and turbo laser. So the Venator 1 seems like a more well-rounded ship. I mean, 3 squadrons still pretty good. It can still do any command. Plus, the Venator 1 has the fleet command upgrade, which is something that's great to have in any fleet. It's nice to be able to have some kind of fleet-wide effects that are working, you know, as opposed to the Venator 2, which you know, has all this blue dice, but still kept the same, you know, ordnance and turbo lasers. So, you know, the blue dice aren't going to be as strong with nothing to really proc off of them or give you rerolls. So, so this, well, you know, you kind of just have to hope you roll good dice naturally. And there might be some other things that give us additional rerolls here, but you know, I think I kind of prefer the Venator 1 for a lot of builds because I don't usually push that many squadrons. But if I am running squadrons, a Venator 2 is going to be incredible. And it's only 10-point increase to you know, to get that 2 extra squadron value, which is pretty cool. And although you know you lose a little synergy, right? The Venator 1 is, you know, it has a little bit more long range dice and definitely a lot more you know, hit potential at close range. You just lose a little bit of the accuracy potential, but Turbo Laser upgrade slot can help you with that. So, so pretty cool to see the Venator 2 card now. And then, again, we still don't know for sure when these are coming out, but there is delays. So I guess we're going to just have to wait and see what the official word is, but it might be a little bit longer. It might be about a month longer than we thought. In some cases, some stores are reporting June, although right now it looks like late April and mid-May are two potential dates for Armada Wave 10 ships showing up. So I guess we'll have to wait and see. But we also have titles, because today on social media, well, rather last night, although I'm recording this the night before, so, yes, we actually did get this spoiled by Atomic Mass Games. We got 3 titles for the Venator spoiled. So let's talk about these titles, because some of them are pretty cool. First, we have the Triumphant. It's a 5-point title. It says, while another friendly non-flotilla ship resolves the squadron command, up to 3 squadrons without adept that it activates can be at close range of you, even if the squadrons are beyond close to medium range of that ship. This effect is not active during the first round. So that was a whole lot of text. What does that really mean? It means it gives your ship relay for clones. Relay is, kind of, again, kind of like the old school, like 2 or 3 years ago version of Relay, like the initial version of Relay, where you could just be anywhere and still kind of activate those squadrons. And I like this one. It's not half bad. It allows, it allows for some ships that are like, we saw Mercy Mission for the Pelta. Maybe you got a Mercy Mission ship that's flying away but still wants to contribute with doing squadron commands. This can let your big Venator kind of have all the squadrons around it, and all the other ships can be really far away. And as long as they're not trying to do more than 3 at a time, they can, because you don't have to exhaust this. So you can have one ship do this, and then another ship do this again, another ship. So you can be splitting up, have your other ships go after objectives or doing whatever you want, and then just have this one, have the Triumphant kind of leading the charge with all of your squadrons, which is pretty cool. There's a couple of limitations here, though. For one, it's up to 3. For one, it can't be flotillas. Now, it's interesting that this says non-flotilla, right? Because, hey, the Republic doesn't have any flotillas. Neither does the Separatists. As a matter of fact, there's no flotillas even announced. But you could say that there's flotillas on the horizon. Or what I'm more inclined to say is that this is just good future proofing, just in case, right? So you don't send that flotilla lifeboat, because that was always the problem. That was one of the big problems that we had with the original version of Relay, in that, like somebody would send a flotilla to the corner of the map, and it would still be able to activate squadrons through Relay from wherever they were on the board. And now Relay has been changed. It just kind of extends the range a little bit, whereas this version, the way this is written, this is ultra long distance Relay. But the other thing is that they can't have adept. So basically, this means for right now, no Jedi, right? So this can your clones can activate. And so this will be good if you want to go with more of a clone-based build. Speaking of clones and Jedi, let me go back a little bit, because that's one of the other differences between the Venator 2 and the Venator 1. And I know at this point in the video, somebody already left in the comments, you didn't talk about the fact that the Venator 1 has the Jedi and comms keyword, and the Venator 2 has the bombard keyword. Well, it has clone also, but they both have clone. All right, so clones can go on both of them, but this one can bombard, but the Venator 1's the only one that the Jedi have their keyword on. And you know what? I didn't talk about that because it doesn't mean anything right now. We don't know of a single card that uses that requires those keywords, right? I haven't seen anything that says Jedi only. That could be just more good future proofing, or it could be more cards that they just haven't shown us yet. So going back to this may be more of a clone squadron centric build type of title. I think if you wanted to, run more of those clone aces, you can only have 4 aces anyway. And so if you want to focus more on a clone based build, this could work. And you can even have some Jedi on there. Maybe when the Triumphant itself does the squadron command, it can be the one that activates the Jedi. So you can have that flexibility in there, so you can still have some, but usually you're not going to have that many Jedi anyway. So yeah, no, I kind of like it. I think it's a really cool title. It allows a very different style of play too. Of course, if I see you trying to do this, I'm putting everything I have. I'm putting my whole fleet on blowing up the Triumphant, and so hopefully I kill that, and then I shatter your whole plan, right? And so, course, hopefully you've got defensive retrofits and other things kind of like that planned. Like defensively, maybe you're running Obi-Wan Kenobi, the more defensive commander, and things like that. All right, moving on to the next title, the Resolute. I love the artwork on this one. Of the three, I think this one is my favorite because you get in that really, really cool shield glow. Like the shield is just kind of radiating with impact and it's just kind of humming red. It's beautiful. I love the work on this particular piece. You've seen those vulture droids and those hyena bombers flying like away from their attack runs and stuff. It's gorgeous. Okay, Resolute is a Venator title, costs 6, and it's, again, Republic only. This one is going to start with 4 tokens. Note that you cannot put Squadron tokens on there. So this sounds to me a little bit more like a Venator 1 title. It says you must choose at least 2 types of command tokens for this card. In other words, you could choose 2 engineering and 1... I'm sorry, you stand corrected. This is... wow. This is, you cannot put nav on here. You can put Squadron on here. So this could be very much a Venator 2 title. But I don't know why. I looked at that right before I recorded and I said, wow, no nav. And for whatever reason, just a brain fart. But yeah, so you can't do nav, but you can do engineering, squadron, and concentrate fire. So it has to be one of those 3. So, and of course, this is a ship that really wants to nav. And so, this is, I think there's a little bit of a risk that you're going to be running with something like this. And that you got to kind of hope you pointed yourself in the right way and you hope you don't get outmaneuvered that much. Because if you can manage to not have to maneuver that much, then this might be a way that you go. But also, if you're running this, if you're running a Venator 2, and you're probably going to be wanting to run a squadron command almost every turn. And if you do that, you might not get full benefit out of this title. So it's kind of 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. Anyway, let's read the text. It says you must choose at least 2 types of command tokens for this card. After you resolve a command by spending a dial, you may discard 1 matching command token from this card to gain that token. So this can give you free tokens. I actually really like this one for the Venator 1 anyway. I'm going to stick to my guns and my initial guns on that one because it's a great way to get those free tokens on those turns. Like depending on what kind of fleet command you're running, maybe I want to run Intensify Firepower. And I'm planning on doing a couple of Concentrate Fire commands during the course of the game. I love Concentrate Fire anyway. But I also know that I'm probably going to have to repair a little bit. So I think this is ideal for something like that. Venator 1 with Intensify Firepower. That's kind of how I want to run the Resolute. But let me know in the comments how you think the Resolute best works. But I say you do like maybe 2 of each, right? 2 Concentrate Fire, 2 Engineer. First turn, you do a Concentrate Fire. Don't even use one of the tokens right there. Just take that token. And so now you can start using Intensify Firepower every turn. And then you start going. You hopefully you're going fast enough. You can get in range pretty early. This way you don't have to worry about CommsNet kind of feeding you extra tokens, and you're going to have some of those Concentrate Fire tokens ready to feed that. And then when it comes time to that you too take some damage, then you can pop that engineering command, get your extra, get your free token there, and start doing that. Hopefully, you still got a Concentrate Fire token from like a previous turn to continue to feed Intensify Firepower, and then go from there. I like it. I don't think I would run squadrons with this one, but that's another way to run it. You could totally do that because I think if I'm running squadrons, I'd rather just run a Venator 2 without this title, and then just run squadrons every turn. And this one, I mean, I guess I'd only get 3 turns out of it. I guess that's not half bad if you want to get a free token, but I'm already getting 5. What's one more? It doesn't feel like as big of a deal with squadrons. It feels like a bigger deal with Concentrate Fire if you're feeding a command, if you're feeding a fleet command, or I guess squadrons could work if you're feeding a fleet command there. But engineering kind of gets you the best benefit out of this one because it's half your value. And then we got Tranquility, a 3-point title. This one's a little bit cheaper of a title. By the way, I love the boarding ships there. Those little torpedoes with the knives that go in. We haven't seen that represented yet. I mean, well, we have boarding teams in the game, but we haven't seen those things in game yet. So I wonder if that's going to be like just a card, or if they'll make like squadrons or something like that for those. I'm curious because I think they're fired out like torpedoes or missiles, if I'm not mistaken. But here's the card for only 3 points. It says, while defending, after the spend defense tokens step, if you spent fewer than 2, which means 0 or 1, defense tokens, you may move up to 2 shields from one of your hull zones to the defending hull zone. If you do, the number of shields in that zone cannot exceed a maximum value of 6. You cannot recover shields while any zone is greater than the maximum shield value. So this is kind of cool if you're getting shot from the front. And like the first time you do this, you're like, all right, now I'm going to take my shields from the back and put them on the front because I know there's way more shots coming to the front. It's really a way for you to kind of bypass some of that redirect resistance. Again, there's so many cards that I've seen from the Clone Wars that feel like they're ways around XI7. I feel like they nerfed XI7s a little bit, but there's so many other things that have additionally made there be paths around XI7. It's really interesting to me. So no, this is going to be able to put you over. This can put your front zone up to 6. I mean, you're probably not going to get 6. I mean, I guess it depends on what you spent. But yeah, I like it. And it's while defending. So now here's the thing: what happens if somebody attacks you? I think because if they attack you and let's say they whiff, they roll no dice. I think they roll their dice, but they roll all blanks. I believe there's still a defense tokens or spend defense token step in that attack because you could counter. You could you could salvo back even if they miss you, right? And so I saw like that. That's if you want to just start off with a little bit more. Now you're not going to be able to refill those back shields until the front get drained away, but usually the rear is kind of safe anyway, so I think that's a great option. So Tranquility seems like a really good title. I like this one because you're kind of getting a free semi-engineering command out of it, which is awesome. Really awesome. I hate dying when I have shields left. Although this does kind of go against the other one of the Separatist commanders that gives you extra dice if you're shooting at a hull zone that's still shielded. And so, like there's a little bit of rock, scissors, paper in this wave, which is kind of interesting. So while this does seem really good on paper, once the meta for wave 10 comes out, this one might be a little bit of a vulnerability in some, at least against certain builds. Pretty interesting stuff, but I'm excited. I can't wait to see. Now, here's the last thing I want to leave you guys with. I don't believe we've seen everything that comes in these packs because there's that big laser, that HSAPHT, the big artillery we saw that card in the first spread. We haven't seen that yet, so there's probably other things that we haven't seen yet. So I wonder if this is the last preview for each of these ships. So this is like preview week for Armada. I wonder if this is the last preview for each of these ships that we're going to get, and if there will still be surprises come unboxing day. I'm hoping to get this stuff early and be one of the first people to bring you an unboxing, but sometimes things leak all over the place, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. All right, guys, but be sure to stay tuned because I will bring you guys more details just as soon as it comes out. I want to thank you all so much. Big thanks to my patrons for your continued support. You guys are absolutely amazing, and I couldn't do this without you, so thank you so much for your continued support. If you're interested in supporting the channel, check out the links in the description below. There's also kinds of links for social media, as well as Patreon, as well as Teespring store, and also Discord and my website where we have the free AI expansion. Check all that out, and as always, have a great day.